I'm one of those weirdos who spends time with a good friend who I can really be myself with, and I cry happy tears on my drive home because I'm so grateful for them. I can't believe how blessed I am to find someone who gets me. I'm absolutely overcome with gratitude. Now, I'm sure we all have our moments like this, or hopefully you all do. Maybe you don't cry, but you know what I mean. But what if we found this sort of gratefulness in everything wonderful in our lives? The outgoing friend, the incredibly helpful salesperson, the beautiful blue sky out our window, your dog who is so happy to see you. There's so much and so many things to be truly grateful for every day. Today I had to go to the apartment behind me in my new place and ask them if they were playing music during the night. I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. I braced myself a little, wondering if someone combative would be on the other side of the door. But this very kind woman came to the door, and we had a lovely conversation. And no, she wasn't playing music. But I walked away in a state of gratitude because I got to meet a new neighbor, and she was incredibly sweet. And I was so appreciative of how wonderfully that all went, how it was so much better than I expected. It warmed my heart, and it made me so grateful. And I took that moment in full appreciation. So let's talk today about gratitude and why we all need to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Alchemy of Manifestation podcast. I'm Jen Tammy at the Wheelhouse Project, and we are going to talk about how that sweet heart of yours is going to help you create the life of your dreams. Gratitude is something so easily overlooked. We have a society that complains endlessly. We get upset that traffic isn't moving, that someone wasn't kind to us, that something didn't go our way, that the weather wasn't what we hoped for, and that things just aren't going perfectly. But really, most of your life is pretty awesome. So why aren't you noticing that? Why do we spend so much time focusing on the negative? The frustration, the worries, the fear, the old beliefs, the things that don't seem to be working for us. While in truth, everything happens for a reason. And really, most things are working for you. I catch myself doing it all the time. It's so easy to fall into those patterns. Our ego mind always takes us there. We have to consciously choose otherwise. We have to consciously choose to focus on the positive, the beautiful, the joyful, and the magical in our lives. And when we can't find that, we need to just at least stop with the negative, to breathe in the fresh air, to listen to the chirping birds or the calming music, to look at the beauty of our world around us and just quiet ourselves, to find our way back to our hearts and away from our minds. We need to talk about gratefulness when talking about manifesting our best life, because it's essential to cultivating the life of your dreams. And it's really just a starting point. But if you can't get yourself to a point of being grateful and happy for what you have, what you see in the world, and where you're at, it will be incredibly challenging to move past it. Well, you do have to heal, and with that, bring up anger and frustration, cry, scream, do whatever you need to, but you'll have to bring it back around to gratitude at some point. Peace, compassion, understanding, and appreciation. For the most part, though, it's really about observation and seeing the bigger perspective. If we can step back for a moment and be the observer of our life, to see how far we've come, to see where we have made improvements and where things have gotten better, to see how blessed we are in comparison to others, and really look at the people around in the world around us. Then we can find gratitude. When we tend to get ourselves off track is when we fall back into victim mentality. When we see others achieving or receiving the things that we desire, and jealousy, sadness, or self-pity creeps in. We go back to our old feelings of unworthiness and lose faith that it's all coming to us too. Because really, your guides will show you what's coming to you. They aren't taunting you. They would never do that. They love you and they want to inspire you to light up your heart and to help you to see and reach for what you want. So they show you breadcrumbs, if you will, what you could have if you believe you are worthy. If you desire it with your heart and hold on to that vision with unwavering faith. So much faith that you celebrate happily with those who achieve your dreams around you, knowing it will be happening to you too soon. Because that energy will help to lift you and get you there. When you celebrate like it's already yours, you are giving thanks in advance. Very powerful. It's when you go back to jealousy, insecurity, and victim mentality that you push it all away, back to the feelings of not deserving it. That's why it's also so essential to heal ourselves and find a place of strong self-love and self-worth so that we don't push everything away from us that is meant for us. The fact is, your heart is the magnet. It's what attracts all those fabulously great things to you that you're loving into your existence. If you haven't healed and opened your heart, you won't be able to attract what you desire and deserve. So healing is always a huge first step on any pathway to manifestation. Taking the steps to find the right healers and working to feel and heal the pain within you that is shutting down your heart is essential. There are many avenues you can take with this and no certain amount of time that it will take. It will depend on what you need and how open and receptive you are to it all. Resistance will get you nowhere fast. As my hypnotherapist said to me, you were a joy to work with because you dove right in and dug up all the pain and you felt it all. You were open and eager to heal and willing to wade through all the pain again and see things clearly in order to get there. I will tell you that you will be on this merry-go-round for many, many lifetimes, though, if you don't heal it now, because you will carry your pain until you heal it as a soul. For those who resist their callings in this life, who stay stuck in their pain and victim mentality, and who don't love themselves and have enough faith to reach for better and follow their intuition, their divine guidance, and their heart, they will not have the life they intended for themselves. They will not advance as they had hoped to. And the next lifetime might be more challenging because of it. You get to take all that self-sacrifice, pain, and suffering with you. I'm just finishing a fabulous book on this by Michael Newton called Journey of Souls. He is a hypnotherapist who explores not just people's past lives, but also their time between lives when souls do a life review, look at advancement, and also planning for their next life. Looking at all the issues that they didn't overcome in their last life, the things they hoped to do but never did, the healing that needs to happen, and the issues that have only gotten worse with each lifetime because they haven't dealt with it. But let me tell you this book will be a wake-up call for some. Do the work now. It's painful to hear the accounts of the souls who have had so much misery in so many lifetimes because they can never find the healing, the clarity, and the self-love to get to a better place. They have never done the digging they needed to do to really heal and move forward in any of their lifetimes. What I would also like to get across to you is that each lifetime brings a new chance to do this. Why not make it this one? Why not let this be your best life ever? Why do this all again with further suffering and pain in a new life? So where do you begin? I believe that you have to start with the desire and the intention. You have to want it for yourself. You have to desire it deeply. And then you have to connect with your divine guides because they will lead you to everything you need on your healing journey if you're paying attention. If you are shown a certain book, someone recommends a certain healer or therapist, or someone tells you about an amazing reading they had with an intuitive, pay attention. Feel it out. Does your intuition tell you to follow that path? Not your brain. Don't listen to your doubting ego. Go with your gut. And hey, why not? I've certainly tried a lot of things over time, and some of it was fabulous, and some of it not. But you have to try sometimes. You have to follow your own intuition. I learned lessons in all of it too, like the scamming psychic, but that's a story for another day. The fact of the matter is, you have divine guides that are always with you, that know your life plan, that know what you desire to do and have and be in this life, that know what you need to achieve and heal and overcome. Ask them for help. Tell them you're ready, and then see what comes. They may speak to you in your head, which will, of course, feel a bit different than your own thoughts and more positive than ego. It's sort of like epiphanies or things that keep pestering you, a song in your head, something that you need to do, little reminders, or even a sudden amazing idea or downloads, as I call them. They may show you signs. They may say things through song lyrics. They may even make a loud noise or maybe a notification on your phone or a flickering light when you say something or do something that's on the right path for you or think something that's on the right path for you. They will shock and astound you sometimes. They even rang me on my own phone. Yes, it was my own phone number calling on caller ID. They will do what it takes to get your attention. So pay attention to what you just thought, said, saw, or heard. Your guides will literally take you all the way if you enlist their help, pay attention, and follow in faith. But let's come back to gratitude. I wanted to address something else that I know I have struggled with. That is that sometimes gratitude for what is feels like complacency to me. Feels like I'm good with what I have, when really I want so much more. And while it may feel like that, it's really about what you are feeling, because it's what you are feeling that is the magnet. So when you feel good about your life and appreciate the things in your life and your world, you are attracting more good things into your life. Because it's the feelings, it's the love in your heart that is the magnet. And if you're feeling love for your life, you will attract more things into your life that you love. And while yes, you should also be doing the same for the things you want to attract into your life, using a vision board or visualizations, for example. But the fact of the matter is, if you're spending 5 minutes a day on your vision boards and then you spend the rest of your day resenting your life and where you're at, that energy is the magnet. That is what is drawing to you. You will attract more things to be upset about and unhappy with. So really, you need to find the good in your life. And if you don't have anything you feel good about, then clearly you need to make some changes. Regardless though, start small. How about the sunny day, the beautiful tree outside your window, the fact that you have a place to live and clean water and a paycheck? Great places to start. You have it so much better than so many. Appreciate that, and then work on the needed changes. But the fact is, gratitude is a stepping stone. It's a starting point. It's how we can start to turn our negative thoughts and patterns into positive ones. It's the jumping off point for living a more positive life. To take the power away from the ego, from the old patterns, and from our negative world. It's really about taking your power back as a soul, of getting things back on track in this lifetime, of saying, okay, let's stay present and focused on the good here and get back on track with our journey. So the next time you feel your thoughts or hear your words taking you to a negative and perhaps unappreciative place, start noticing it. Start by thinking about what you're grateful for around it all. For example, maybe your car had damage in an accident and you were frustrated to have to pay the deductible to get it fixed. However, the people at the garage or dealer were absolutely fantastic. Maybe they went out of their way for you, or even did the repair at a lower price to save you some money. Or perhaps they just made it easy for you by giving you a free loaner car for the day. But regardless, notice the things that go right. Notice the things that were good or maybe great, and relish those things. Be grateful for them. Let them light up your heart with appreciation. Because so much goes right for us every single day, and yet people choose to focus on the negative. But like I said, you will attract more of what you focus on. So pay attention to what you're choosing to focus on. I know that for some of us, we have people in our lives that live in victim mentality, that can only see the negative. And I will tell you this, if they need to stay in your life for whatever reason, you will need to distance yourself for a bit. You will need to create boundaries, and you will need to not fall into their negative world when you're talking to them. They likely won't follow you into your positive world, but don't get sucked into their negative focus. I have to say, being around people who are constantly negative when you're really working to stay in the positive and be in a state of gratitude, well, it's challenging to say the least. As an example, there was a family email going around with old photos of a family vacation spot, and all of us shared a positive memory about it. The negative Nelly of the family shared about the one time we had to leave because of a wedding that was there that was so noisy we couldn't sleep. Yeah, couldn't find a single positive memory. But honestly, it made me laugh. It was what I expected. The old me used to try and bring them to the positive side all the time, beating my head constantly against the wall about it. Now I know. I just need to understand that this is how they want their world. This is the victim mentality they live in, and I just need to let it go. So this is also a lesson in the fact that as you move into gratitude, don't expect others to go with you. When I first moved into gratitude and more positive thinking, I really noticed the negativity around me more than ever too. There were definitely people I needed to distance myself from, but I also found myself gravitating to the positive ones, the open-minded people, the grateful ones who truly appreciated life and lived from the heart. They usually aren't difficult to spot, as they will be the ones who are a ray of sunshine. They might be the outgoing one or even the quiet one, but their energy speaks volumes. Just having moved, I am noticing this more than ever, as I need to find new service providers and want people who I also like their energy. When I went for waxing the other day, the woman was amazing. I could feel her positive energy as I walked into the room. And by the end of the session, she said that she, quote, loved my energy and could see by the smile on my face, under my mask, how happy I was with all the changes I was making in my life, quote. Winner, I adored her, added her to my list. The fact of the matter is, you may not live where you want right now. You may be alone and wishing you had a great love in your life. You may not be in a job that makes you happy or brings you any joy, or you may be struggling financially. These and so many other issues people are having are not where we want to focus our attention. Or at least, if you're going to put attention there, do it by making positive changes for yourself to these areas. But really, you need to start by focusing on the good things about all of it. What you love about where you do live. What you enjoy about your alone time. What are the positive aspects of your job? And what positive small actions could you take to start to help your financial situation? Hopefully, you're getting the point here. But gratitude is recognizing the good, which will also help you to chart a new course. For example, if you're a project manager and you really enjoy managing people, but hate working with clients, then rather than doing a job where you aren't happy, you know that you should look for a job where you're just managing people. You have noticed what you like and are grateful for about your job. And that will help you to see what to look for in a new job that you enjoy. Gratitude really is an attitude that you have to take in your life. Decide that you will start to tip the scales a bit more in this negative world and start to attract in more positive, more inspiring, more joy. Find the things that make you happy. Find what calls to your heart. And as you appreciate that, you will draw more of it to you. Life will change in beautiful ways and inspire you to take action on those things as well. On that note, I wanted to say today how very grateful I am for my following. While sometimes I feel like a lot of what I create, write, and download from my guides are all lessons and reminders for myself, I know it is also meant to be shared, and I'm so happy to put out content that I receive positive feedback on. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining me today on the podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and check out all of our other resources, videos, blogs, and more at thewheelhouseproject.com. Remember to sign up for our email list while you're there. And also check us out at The Wheelhouse Project on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest.